Hi friends, this is CC and welcome to Hobby Hands. In this vlog, we're going to continue to turn this into this. Yes, we're going to continue to build the Raptor. So the first thing we're going to do is put a bit of definition and highlights into the interior of the cockpit. I do this with a highlight pencil, like that, and then just smudge it a little bit with a cotton bud until I'm happy with the results. And now that I'm happy, what we're going to do is then put in the heads-up display. I've pre-painted it in green with a little bit of black framework. It's a very small part, so be careful. There we go, it's in and no incident at all. Bit of adjustment. Looking good. Right, now we'll put the canopy parts on. So the first thing we're going to do is glue in the canopy frame. Put some glue in. And here we go, we've put the canopy frame on. There you go, done. And then we're going to put the clear bubble canopy on. Put on a bit of glue, not too much. Alright, carefully put the canopy on. Try and adjust it without too much touching. There you go. Canopy remains very shiny. In the meantime, I'm going to start painting the weapons, like the bombs, a couple of the sidewinders, and 6 of the MRAMs. So I've painted the MRAMs with a bit of a white tip and then masked it off. So I'm pretty much ready to start painting the body of the aircraft now. I've masked off the weapons base, which have already been painted in white. Gonna have to mask the engine areas, or the exhaust areas as well, which have already been pre-painted. And of course, we have to mask off the canopy. I've also painted the missile bay doors and masked it off. So white on the inside, which I've then masked off, and then the outer bits of the doors will be painted in the exterior colors. I'm going to mask off the canopy. The toothpick helps me to get rid of the bubbles, and I use a new blade every time I try and cut the tape for the canopy. So I change a new blade, make sure it's super sharp. And now we carefully cut off There you go. Alright, so pretty much at this stage I've done all the masking. So that's your exhaust areas or the engine area, which have been painted already in metallic colors. So I've also masked off the interior bomb bays and missile bays. I've covered the inside of the engine intakes, which have already been painted white. And finally, the canopy. So I guess we're ready to paint. I've masked off all the bomb bay doors. So the inside has been painted white, and we'll paint the exposed areas in the exterior body colors. So just a note, the instructions call for the aircraft to be painted in two grey tones. Firstly, the color there is the engine color, and then the body is made out of two colors, mostly an intermediate grey and a darker grey for the camouflage. There are some references which shows there's another shade of grey in the wingtips and bits and pieces like the front of the nose of the aircraft. The canopy frames. And I think I will do that scheme. So there you go, friends. Very sorry, I lost 3 days of footage in which I painted the aircraft's colors. The intermediate grey, the light grey for the edges, and then the camouflage with the dark grey. I can't find that footage. So at this stage what I'm doing is actually giving the whole aircraft a couple of coats of clear. And you can see here the finished work. So everything's been glossed up. And some of the masks have already been taken off. So at this stage I'm going to just put in some panel lines. So for white parts I'm going to use a grey wash. At the inside of the missile bay, just to make the details stand out, I'll put some wash, a light grey wash for the white compartments. This gives it that light and shadow effect. Pretty much just put it on and it will spread by itself to the inside here. So I'll do the rest of the white parts soon. I'm just showing you the difference between the side that's been given a wash and the other side that hasn't. Now with the grey bits of the body, I'm going to put a black wash into the panel lines like this. Another body as well, and the missiles, and the pylons. There we go. I'm going to do that for the rest of the aircraft and come back and show you. There you go. So I've put wash on the whole aircraft now. As you can see, all the lines are standing out. So the next step I'm going to do is to get rid of the smudges with a cotton bud and some thinner. So that all that's left are the clean, neat lines. And done. You can see it's all cleaned up now. The panel lines are all very pronounced. And the surface has been mostly glossed up, which will prepare it for the decals. The decals stick better to a glossy surface. So I'm going to choose this version. Let's start that. There you go, all done. So what I'm doing now is giving the whole aircraft another couple of coats of clear gloss to seal the decals in. So after I've glossed up the aircraft with a couple of coats of gloss, I then cover the whole aircraft with a flat clear. So I like my aircraft in a flat finish, and I've just given the whole aircraft a flat clear. We'll look at the results soon. As you can see, Now the flat clear has dried, and you can see that the finish of the aircraft is all flat now. The F-22 is all painted and finished in a flat clear, and the decals look like they've been painted on. So next thing we're going to do is put together the weapons. So the first one is to put MRAMs on the launcher and then stick it inside the weapons bay. I'm going to build this with the weapon bay doors open. There's a sidewinder that's sitting on its launcher. I'm going to show you the bomb now, and I'm going to stick the bomb onto a pylon. Assembling more of the MRAMs onto their launchers. There we go, friends. We are going to now put the remaining bits of the aircraft together. So all the missiles are sitting on their launchers. The bombs are on the pylons, ready to go onto the aircraft. Let's put them into the aircraft. So let's firstly stick all the MRAMs into the weapon bay in the belly of the aircraft. I've painted the missiles in live colors and not test colors, which is in blue. Okay, as you can see, all the MRAM missiles are now sitting in the belly of the aircraft. So next thing I'm going to do is put in the doors for the side weapons bay, which is going to be where the sidewinder is going to sit. So I'll put the doors in first and then the missile, so the missile doesn't get in the way. So first, of course, we have to put in this little divider in the belly of the aircraft. I'm going to put in the doors now, bit of glue on the hinges. Alright, both doors are in. And we're going to put the missile in. This is a Sidewinder missile that sits in the weapons bay in the side of the aircraft. Either side of the aircraft. There's one each. Like that. Not too bad. So I'm going to do the other side as well. So both sides are in. So now I'm going to do the doors for the main missile bay. So the first thing I'm going to do is stick in these bits here, which are like the actuators for the doors. Opens and closes the door. And there's the smaller ones which sit on either side. There you go. Okay, time to put the doors on. So the first one is the main door, which is the biggest piece there. Then there's this little door which goes on the outside of the main door. Like that. Alright. And this is the last piece of that door. There you go, one side's done. Alright, now both sides are done. What we're going to do now is put on the pylons to complete. Let's check that it's sitting at the right angle. Okay, our F-22 Raptor is pretty much done. Nice flat colors. I painted in some wing lights, red and a blue, one on each side. That's about it for the build and the paint. Last step is I'm going to remove the masking on the canopy. So you've got to be quite careful on this, that you don't scratch the finish of the canopy. Otherwise it's all that work for nothing. And carefully peel off the masking so you don't pull off any of the paint. And finally, all done. Final thoughts on the aircraft. Build was pretty good, quite not too difficult. Some issues though. The biggest issue was that big gap, which I've managed to clean up with some putty. Also there's issues like gaps where the moving parts are supposed to be. No decals for the weapons. I had to paint all the lines in. Some gaps there. And the landing gear doors had some gaps. Otherwise a pretty good build. So there you go. I'll put it on display for you. Bottom view of the F-22 actually looks quite nice with the open bomb bays. Let's look at the top. Okay. Thank you very much for watching part 2 of the build. Please subscribe to my channel and give me a like. Thank you for watching. See you next time.